Hello folks, I am Ed Overstreet and welcome to the Night Sky Imaging YouTube channel. Tonight I started imaging Messier 27, also called the Dumbell Nebula. Why, I'm not sure. Um, I guess in a stretch you might be able to make a dumbbell out of it. But this is the second night that I imaged M27. I imaged it last night and I was able to get around 5 hours of imaging time in. And I hope to get as much tonight. I thought I would look at the data and or look at the image and process the data that I had and see if it was worth getting another night of data, and I think it's actually a must if for this image to be decent to do that. But I'll show you what it looks like so far, and here she blows. This is the hang on, I opened up another program that I didn't want to open up, so let's close it out and let's go back. Wrong, we're outside now. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. We want Pix Insight. All right. So this is the Dumbell Nebula right here, and you should be able to see it now after that calamity of a start. And I know that if I get another 5 hours, that this there will be more clarity and more information inside this nebula. Uh, right now, it's kind of a train wreck, but I kind of forced that in processing, and so don't don't laugh at my nebula yet. I haven't finished it yet, but it has promise, and so let's go outside and look at what is now going on. And we are let me see. I'm back to closing out some windows, and I want to remove this. So far, this is how many images we've taken? Six images so far. I took 100 last night. Each image is 3 minutes long. Each image is being exposed for 3 minutes, and so 180 seconds. So this is a 180-second exposure, and already the mean has come down. The very first image, let me go back. It's 2000, and the one right before here, the very first image, the mean was 2700, and you can see how washed out with this low stretch, how washed out the background is. And that's because I started at about 9:30, and although it was dark here, it wasn't. It's not going to be nautical dark until around 10 o'clock. So uh, I don't have I don't have a very good background um, ADU value right now with this first image, but uh, with the second image, if you'll look at it, it comes down to 23, getting darker outside, and then 21, it's getting darker. So signal's looking better, background is looking better, and this is the fifth image, and this is the last one. So Here's how the sequence looks. This is what we're doing tonight. I'm using an L Pro filter. I hope to have 200 total images when it's all said and done. Each of those images will be 3 minutes long, 180 seconds. And I took 100 last night. I've already taken 5 tonight. And there's 40 down here at the bottom. There's 43 seconds left in the 6th image. So it's going to take 4 hours and 42 minutes. But you need to actually add another close to an hour to that time, because between images I dither, and as the temperature drops, I refocus every 2 degrees. The temperature drops. I honestly don't think the temperature is going to drop too much. It's hot in Spartanburg. I mean, it is really hot in Spartanburg, South Carolina. It's hot everywhere, but it's hot. As a matter of fact, it's 84 degrees at the mount right now. So the thermostat sitting writing on my mount right now registers 84 degrees. So it's pretty hot out. It's a July summer night in the South. Let's see what else. Let me make sure that works. I didn't test my sound. It doesn't. I've been having a lot of sound problems, mostly because I don't set it up in advance. And then I find out afterwards that and I just got a message from my stream company that my stream quality has been automatically lowered because internet connection was not fast enough. That's insane. It shouldn't be a problem. I have the fastest charter connection I can possibly have. I don't know. But at any rate. All right, let me let's do this and park that, and we can watch the images come in for a minute. So I am live imaging the Dumbell Nebula M27 with a color camera. I usually run 2 telescopes, but I'm working on one of them. I got it inside. I've taken it apart, cleaning and re-greasing gears. And we just downloaded another. Let's check guiding. And guiding appears to be going okay. The good news is that the RA and the deck RMS values are are close or the same. It's real important to have round stars that these two numbers are close. You can have a good RMS value less than 1.0, and if your RA is 0.80 and your DEC is 0.20, you're going to have little oblong stars. So if these are close, then you'll have round stars. Even when you have a large, let's say you have a 2.0 RMS, but you're at 0.80, 0.85. If those numbers are close, your stars will be bigger, but they'll be round. And you can work with those in post-processing. What's hard to work with are oblong stars. For me, it is. Okay, let's go out and I'll show you the telescope I'm using. I'm turning on the outside observation camera. I'm trying to turn on the outside observation camera. And so this is the solar setup that I've been using. We've had several days of clear skies in Spartanburg, and I've been imaging the sun every day, all day. I got beat up with some clouds around the transit time today, and so I shut down for a while and I booted back up. But this is what we're working with tonight. This is an Edge, a Celestron Edge HD. The guide scope is a Orion 240 millimeter with a Lodestar Starlight Express Lodestar guide camera. And then this is the ASI533. I use Moonlight focusers, and it's on a Atlas Pro, which is the Skywatcher HEQ6 mount. And that's the setup. And so far, there ain't a lot to talk about. We had a spike in our DEC. That's bad. Probably have to delete that image. And it's just, let's look at it. I bet it's got a horrific looking star. So we'll zoom. Let's zoom some more. I stretched. Yeah. See where each of these stars has like a little oblong star where the declination, got a line going down through here too. The checkerboard you see is the barometrics that's part of the color sensor. Well, we're going to mark this one as bad. No point in keeping it. Out of the 100 that I took last night, I think I kept 88. I got rid of 12. Yeah, there's a line going through there, and I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what that is. It's a possibility that it's a meteor. More likely just a bias signal. But if the next one doesn't have it, then let's see if the one before it had it. Nope. So I don't know. I don't know what that is. Oh, I marked that as bad, so it's gone. Oh, that racket. I forgot I have this on outside. I'm gonna go pour some more coffee. I'll be right back. Okay. Headset. Haven't had a crash, have we? Not sure what's going on there. Have to figure this one out. If you're just joining, last night I started imaging the Dumbell Nebula M21, and I took 100 images. I got rid of 12, processed 88, and I quickly processed it just to see if it was worth fooling with. And so I thought I would get another 5 hours of exposure time in, and 10 hours of total exposure time on this very bright nebula ought to be a gracious plenty. But there's a lot more detail in here than I have. This really doesn't look good. So I'm going to try to do better. And of course I didn't spend much time processing it either. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using an 8-inch Edge by Celestron and a 533 mono camera. I'm trying to cool to -10 degrees, but I can only get to -7. It's so hot outside. Temps right now at the mount are 83 degrees, almost 84 degrees. So it's hot and humid. The humidity, relative humidity, is 77%. So what that means is we're going to have a pretty high dew point, and my grass will be wet probably in the next 2 hours, just like it rained. That's life in the South. Okay, let's bring everything. While I'm out here, the dew heaters are already running. They automatically come on when the dew point and the temperature get close to each other, when they get ready to intersect, because it's anticipating the dew. So it heats up even hotter than they already are, heats up the glass on the elements on the refractor and the guide scope. But so far, this is the acquisition part of the processing, or not processing, part of acquiring an image. This is where you set up your game plan. So my game plan tonight is to take another 100. I've taken 10 so far. Take another 100 images. Each will be 3 minutes long, with the 533 on the edge using an L Pro filter. So I've got about 4.5 hours of imaging time, and about an hour that will be dither and focus. I've got this set up to refocus every time the temperature drops 2 degrees, which is a necessary thing on a Smith Cassegrain, because as the inside of the Smith Cassegrain cools, it's hard to focus in the first place when you have all those thermal currents from a day when the temperatures were in the high 90s. So not only do you have thermal currents in the atmosphere, you've got them inside your telescope. So focusing it's a challenge. I could run the automatic focus 5 times and get different values each time, and actually off as much as, say, 50 steps. In a way, I'm looking forward to fall, cooler weather, longer nights. So, don't want to wish my life away, but there are some advantages. I haven't imaged live at night in so long. Huh. I'll show you where this is almost due east from, if you looked east and up, oh, let's see, what is the, it is 49 degrees high altitude, and it's about 95, so 90 degrees is due east, so it's at 95 degrees, it's almost due east. So if you looked east and if you looked up about 50 degrees, which is if you do this with your hands, see if I can, if you do this with your hands, between the top of your little finger and your thumb, it's 10 degrees. Is that right? Yeah, this is 5 degrees. So you can stack one on top of the other and 10 times from the horizon, and that's how high it is. You got to extend your arm out when you do that. Guiding is looking much better right now. I imaged this last night, and I imaged this, and I'm imaging tonight. I'm also working on, let me go over to PixInsight. This is the what I have so far, and there's just a lot more detail in the nebula than I got. I'm just curious. I thought it was worth investing tonight and get 10 hours. And if I can't get better detail in 10 hours, I am limited by my processing skills or my optics, because I know it's there. I've seen it in other images. So I'm just trying to see if I can't improve on the work so far. This doesn't look bad at a distance, but if you get close, stars are fine, but the nebula's just not detailed. But I did 17 hours worth of exposures in the last 3 or 4 weeks on the Iris Nebula, and let me bring that up. 2 nights ago, or 3 nights ago, I finished that up, and Iris, and I'll load the project. I did save the project, didn't I? Yeah. And it'll take it a second, and I'll come back in a minute. And so far I'm real tickled with it. Huh. Frankie, I know they're out there, but I hate to say anything. Everybody already thinks I'm kooky, but you can't do this as often as I do this, as many nights as I do this, and not see things that you have to wonder about. The things that probably fascinate me the most is that this is not the first time that I've imaged, let's say, the Dumbell Nebula. In fact, I probably image it every year. And so all of these targets that I image are pretty much seasonal. Some are circumpolar, but for the most part, everything that I image at certain times of the year. So I will compare images that I took over the years, and I'll notice that sometimes there's things in an image that were not in images in the past, and I wonder what's going on, wonder what this is. And so I deal with that. And of course you have your meteors, your satellites and things that zoom through your exposures, and you kind of know what they are. And an airplane, you kind of know what those are. But I remember when I first started out, I thought I'd locked on to an extraterrestrial. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are they're not. It's hard to explain them. Sure do. Now the sun is so very unpredictable. I love imaging the sun because you can be imaging the sun and all of a sudden see a solar flare. You never know what you're going to get when you're imaging the sun. But for the most part, when you image deep space targets, galaxies, nebulas, clusters, when you image those, they're pretty unremarkable, other than it's fascinating to see the data coming in, knowing that, let me see, let me try something here real quick. I just looked up how far away the Messier 27 is. It's 1,360 light years away, which is pretty close when you consider that I have a star that I imaged called the Methuselah star that's 13.6 billion years old. Not light years away, but years old. 13.6 billion years old, which is as old as the universe, which is 13.7 billion years old. But if you could travel at the speed of light, which is If you would stand at the equator with a flashlight, that beam of light could travel around the equator 7.5 times in 1 second. That's the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. So if you could travel that fast, it would only take you 1,360 years to get there. So, I mean, that's a possible vacation spot. One day. Not in my lifetime. Oh, let's go back and I'll show you. There it is. This is the Iris Nebula, NGC 7023, and that's 17 hours of total exposure time, which is a lot of time invested in an image. But I love the color in this nebula. Sure is pretty. Sure is pretty. So we're back out. I hope the clouds stay away. If they do, and I get the 5 additional hours in, I think it's going to make a good image. It's probably worth looking at. This is what we're in for tonight. Pretty dark skies, pretty decent scene. And clouds are going to be from 20 to 40%. So I'm going to have to fight clouds all night. Right now I'm right here, so it's clear. We got this mess coming up, but this is going to miss us. And we got a front coming in from, this is going to get us on Saturday and Sunday. This right here will break up before it gets here. But we have a low front coming in, so with that we're going to have cooler temperatures next Monday and Tuesday. So we've got clear skies. We are looking at M27, which is 1,360 light years distant. I think it transits around 1 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. .116. So right now we're at 54 degrees altitude, and it transits at 78 degrees, so it's really high in the sky. And then I could actually image for, that's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. I'd want to stop about here at 50 degrees. So I've got plenty of night left to get these 4 hours of images in. And I have the L Pro filter on a 533 camera. It's a 3-minute exposure. I'm doing 100 tonight. I did 100 last night, so we're going to have around 200. And realistically, I'll probably end up keeping about 175. Get rid of some of those with poor signal or where guiding acted up. And over a 10-hour period of exposure time, you're bound to have clouds may rule the night before it's all said and done. But guiding is going really well. We're in the 60s. RMS numbers are in the 60s. RA and deck guiding, or those values are arm in arm. They're running pretty close. So I'm getting round stars. One of the problems when imaging with the Smith Cassegrain is getting stars that look sharp. And so far it's looking pretty decent. But I shouldn't say anything. I don't have any wood to knock on. Wanted to share with you what I'm doing tonight. Want to sign off. Hopefully I'm going to have clear skies tomorrow morning, and if I do, I'm going to revisit the sun. I'm working on a time lapse of the sun. It's acting up big time. So until then, if you will, consider subscribing and liking and doing all of those things, and click the bell and you'll be notified. Till then, I'll catch you guys later.